At one particular time, I did talk about. I did say Terence Crawford.
Okay.
Now, but what are we rating these fighters on? What are we rating these fighters on?
Floyd Mayweather's eyeball test.
That works
You're
for me.
eyeballing these guys. You watch Terence Crawford. You know why he has a problem getting the other welterweights in the ring with him.
So if even pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me. Because I think Floyd at his best was a better defensive fighter than Crawford. Crawford's a better offensive fighter, but in those kind of matchups, I think defense usually beats the offense.
Floyd Mayweather has just responded to Terence Crawford in a live interview, saying Crawford doesn't deserve to be on the pound-for-pound list. But Stephen A. Smith disagrees, saying Terence Crawford is the best fighter on earth, the real pound-for-pound king. In this four-belt era, he's proved it by becoming the undisputed world champion.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this four-belt era...
Meanwhile, Oscar De La Hoya said Floyd Mayweather is the best trainer he's ever worked with. He added that if Floyd ever faced Terence Crawford, he would completely reinvent his style and transform himself, showing how great Floyd truly is.
Floyd, for me, is the best trainer I've ever had in my life. He would revitalize his style. He would make him a new fighter. That's how great Floyd.
Max Kellerman said that at his best, Floyd Mayweather was the stronger defensive fighter, while Terence Crawford is the better offensive fighter. But in those kinds of fights, defense usually beats offense.
Because I think Floyd at his best was a better defensive fighter than Crawford. Crawford's a better offensive fighter, but in those kind of matchups, I think defense usually beats the offense.
Robert Garcia mentioned that while Terence Crawford made history by becoming undisputed, in a prime versus prime matchup, he would still pick Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao. Still, he ranks Crawford among the all-time greats.
Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5-division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more. In a fight, I probably still pick Mayweather. Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win. Just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
Danny Garcia said that since Floyd is around 10 years older than Crawford, a real competitive fight wouldn't make sense, but an exhibition between them would be exciting and a great idea.
It'd be hard. I mean, they're not that separated in age, right?
I think Terence is 38. I think Floyd, I am not sure he's either 10 years older or 12 years older. I don't know if he's 48 or 50.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get the best Floyd, so I don't think it makes sense. Exhibition
would be crazy, actually.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Exhibition would be crazy, actually.
Yeah, I think that'll make a lot of sense.
Errol Spence Jr. explained that Floyd Mayweather's ring IQ and legendary tactics put him on another level, which is why he sees Floyd as one of the greatest fighters ever.
It's a difference because, Floyd is different. I feel like he's the best fighter. I don't know about all time. He might be the best fighter all time. If not, he's close, 2, 3, yeah. And not by far. So, it's just it's a little bit different things that Floyd does. And Floyd was a lot older when I sparred him. And it's just certain things that he does that, that's really tricky. Like the guy we get in the clinch, he was like squeezing my nose and I couldn't breathe and stuff like that. So it's just certain things that he do in there. And just vetting stuff, just vetting the all-time type stuff he was doing when I was part of it.
He also said that even though a fight between Floyd and Crawford could only happen in imagination, Floyd's mental edge separates him from everyone else, making him unmatched in that area.
Beat Crawford, would you think? I know that's just a fantasy matchup.
Man, I don't know.
I'm reaching,
I don't get into all that. Yeah. I don't know who went out, Sugar Ray Robinson and Floyd. I don't know, man.
But for Floyd was the best work, just like mental games, everything.
Oh, yeah, mentally, by far, I feel like he's the best. He's the best mentally.
Coach Bernie said that if Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford fought in their primes, Floyd would win by breaking him down with sharp jabs, clean hooks, heavy body shots, and tight defense. taking control in the later rounds.
Floyd, just hypothetically speaking, just looking at, two fighters, you got Floyd and you got Crawford in their prime. Who you picking?
Can we all give an opinion on that?
Yeah, you want to?
Yeah, I got an opinion on that too.
Coach, what you think?
I'm listening to you, Rep.
Floyd versus a prime Mayweather. We can go Pretty Boy. We can go Money May versus Terence Crawford in his prime. Who we got?
I think Money May would have shut Crawford down. He would have bored him to sleep like he do these fighters.
Yeah.
He would have jabbed him, hooked him, just sticking in the body. You know what I'm saying? And then when the fighters swing back, Floyd nowhere to be found. So mentally, they're draining.
Yeah.
And about the 6th or 7th round, that's when you start picking up, putting the combination together. Money May.
MMA analyst Luke Thomas pointed out that Terence Crawford's rise came later in his career, but he sees him as one of the sharpest defensive fighters ever, someone who can track and shut down opponents wherever they move in the ring.
Problem with Bud's career, right? It bloomed kind of late. I find Bud to be as defensively sound as I've ever seen a fighter. He can find you. There's nowhere to hide with him.
Like Floyd, he has such control over the terms in there. It's just insane.
Ryan Clark said Floyd Mayweather was the standout fighter of his generation, dominating opponents with perfect technique and mental strength, becoming the face of boxing in the 2000s.
Here's why I say that. Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it, right? The best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside that ring we saw this weekend.
He added that Terence Crawford has now shown his own greatness by defeating top names like Errol Spence Jr. and Canelo Alvarez, proving both his courage and elite skills.
There's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked, gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years, but no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that, and Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their era.
Max Kellerman also said that while Floyd's resume is deeper, Terence Crawford has shown more willingness to fight anyone who steps up. No hesitation at all.
Because, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Oh, yes. That makes a difference to people.
Jeff Mayweather said Floyd's win over a young Canelo Alvarez proved his brilliance in the ring, while also showing the promise Canelo had early in his career.
So if we remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. Yeah, nobody had it. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.